let's go. Vamos. Buenas tardes. Welcome back to Calculated Drivel, live from the Dominican Republic. And this time, my co-host, Mr. Matthew Regglesworth, has booked an appointment with the doctor, Dr. DR, aka Marc abroad. Hi Matt, how you doing?
Hi. What an introduction. I'm good, how are you? You look like, so for the listener, there's been some technical difficulties and I've been wanting to comment on what Marc's wearing for the last 10 minutes. And can I say, it's great. You look like either you've really embraced the Dominican Republic holiday vibes, or you've changed your identity and you've changed your name and you've moved abroad and you're never coming back again.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I've met someone out here. Even though I came here with my long-term girlfriend, Carla Maria Gonzalez Gomez. It is a combination of looking to have the sort of wow factor on this video call / show. We're not a podcast. I want to remind our listeners. And yeah, these mirrored aviators, sort of Terminator 2-esque, go back to the chopper sort of vibe, are a present from Carla's padre, Tomas. These are Carla's dad's ex-aviators, and now I'm wearing them.
Nice.
And the bucket hat also is a gift. The only thing I'm wearing that isn't a gift is this shirt, which I bought especially for the trip.
Nice. You bought it in DR, or you took it with you?
Another gift. Another gift.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, if that intro wasn't clear for those listening, Marc's in the Dominican Republic finally after many cancelled trips.
Third time lucky.
In London. Third time lucky, yeah. So, well, before we get into the pleasantries, have you got a drink?
I do. I'm armed with a can of Presidente lager.
Is that a new sponsor?
AKA Cerveza, for all of our Spanish listeners. For those who listened to the Spanish special we recorded a couple of years back. So cheers, Matt. I'm going to open this Presidente.
Cheers. Well, a bit of a callback as well. I'm drinking the Diplomatico. I actually haven't had any of this yet tonight. I had a smell of it earlier and it kind of was a bit much.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Cheers.
I'm drinking it with this giant ice cube.
Ice cube.
Yeah, got some for my birthday, some massive ice cube. So yeah, cheers.
Or we should say, salud.
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 You have to talk me through what Presidente tastes like.
So Presidente is the equivalent of what Budweiser is to the US, or
Stella?
No, Matt, that's
no.
right.
Presidente Budweiser.
Pardon?
Don't dare you call him Presidente. That's an insult to the
Oh yeah, no.
kids.
Presidente is a delightful medium alcohol lager, which is always served what they call over here muy frío, which you can guess is
Very frío.
very frío, very cold, exactly.
That was interjection from our producer, Carla.
Yeah,
We don't want to get into a lawsuit from Presidente.
Yeah, Matt and I know a thing or two about lawsuits, don't we, Matt?
Yeah, let's not talk about Rubicon.
Yeah, no. Can I talk about your backdrop / you for a second?
Right.
Yeah. So for our listeners who don't have video, since it is going to be uploaded with podcasts, even though it's a show, Matt's wearing a striped corduroy jumper, a grey and black / maroon tone, with what looks like a polo shirt underneath, or a plain tee, not quite sure.
Just a tee.
Just a tee. and then he's put on a baseball cap because I think he didn't want to feel left out with me with my sombrero, and that's why you put that on.
Can you see what it says on it?
No, dip your chin. Oh, AstraZeneca. Did you go in wearing that and then they actually gave you Moderna? Or
No.
and you were already annoyed about it?
So my dad used to work for AstraZeneca, and I've had this cap since I was probably about 13. And only now has it become cool. It's like, well, I mean, it's quite controversial depending on your like stance on, firstly, vaccines and also
blood clots.
Capitalism. Well, yeah. But I'm a fan. I didn't wear it to my vaccine, but I am. Oh, now I'm Pfizer as well. I didn't even have AstraZeneca, but I'm pro vaccine.
Yeah, pro vaccine.
I want to make that clear.
Yeah, I like the idea of you walking around with a hat promoting vaccines, but you have not been vaccinated. That would be quite an interesting paradox. Is that a paradox?
I guess so. I wore this hat on a night out a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, it's not gonna. So like Becca was saying to me, oh, you can't wear that around London because what if you bump into some like mad anti-vaxxer who like, I don't know, wants to start a fight with you or whatever. But this night out was in Hackney. It was probably the most liberal place possible.
Yeah.
But then I started getting people saying to me about how it's like bad because of capitalism and AstraZeneca profiting off of COVID. So there's no way of winning. So then I took it off.
Well, don't worry. I won't be judging you for anything capitalism related tonight.
Capitalism.
Oh, capitalism, exactly.
So how's it going? How the elephant in the room is you're in a foreign land. I mean, I'm hoping you've got a lot of stories because
I have nothing to say to you, man.
Yeah, nothing. How's it been? You've been there for almost 2 weeks now, right?
I've been out here for dos semana. I'm gonna take these off as well. That was more of an intro thing. 2 weeks. I've been to many places. We started off in Punta Cana, which is the tourist sort of hot spot, which you can fly directly from Gatwick into, and there we met some friends of Carla, and we went straight to one of her friends lives in Punta Cana in like a she basically works in architecture, and the good thing is when she got the job, she got offered a flat in this place as part of the job package with a pool and everything. But she had we tried getting that in London. But she had COVID, so she booked us another apartment in that same building because she wasn't able to see us, so we were in there like kind of waving to her. So that was the first place, Punta Cana. Then after that we stayed there for one night just to sort of get our bearings, whatever that means. Well, I don't know if you've heard this before, Matt, but when you're on a flight going somewhere hot and you're getting close to landing, and then you hear like a group of lads, normally like a group of English lads who you know are going to be a bit annoying, they're about to land, and one of them always goes, let's go to the hotel. When we get to the hotel, drop the bags off, go straight out for drinks. Like, what else are you going to do? Oh no, we'll go in the hotel, we'll stay in the hotel for 2 weeks, and then we'll go straight home. No, we ended up going into like the equivalent of a Waitrose in Dominican Republic, which is called a national, and it was like, you know, when you go into a supermarket abroad, it's way more novel than
at
home.
Like a whole cultural experience.
Yeah. So you can kind of wander the aisles.
Talk me through some of the weird things that you saw. Anything stood out to you on the shelves?
I see that myself. So all the rum section's much bigger, as you'd expect. Yeah. The quality of the food looked good. Well, firstly, the aguacates, tell me what an aguacate is, Matt. What do you think an aguacate is?
Agua sounds like water. Carte sounds like cart. So I'm guessing a water cart.
Yeah, they had water carts there for days.
Aisles
aisles and aisles of water carts. No, it's an avocado. but they call them
Oh,
avocates.
right, yeah,
Yeah, aguacates.
Okay. What's the Dominican avocado like? Talk me through it.
Muy grande. My nickname for it is massive. And imagine like eating a food that's grown locally. Imagine that for something tropical.
I'm thinking
like
of it. Yeah.
And my nickname for them was green butter, or in Spanish. Carla, how do you say green butter in Espanol again? Mantequilla verde.
Nice.
So next time you have one, not a Dominican one, but just one from Sainsbury's, say to Becca, this is verde is green. I forgot what butter was. Mantequilla verde.
Nice. That sounds. Does it taste different? Is it nicer? I imagine they actually like ripen on the tree, whereas I imagine the ones here like picked months before they're ripe, and then they just ripen like on a boat or something.
Yeah, the ones that we get are like specifically chosen because they can like last for a long time traveling across the Atlantic. That particular type of avocado, but these ones are different, like much bigger. Imagine the size of a baby's head, right?
Wow.
And I'm not talking a premature baby, right?
Okay.
I'm talking a full-blown baby. So yeah, we've been having those all the time. The food's been great. I've actually put on a bit of weight, not in a good way.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's just because there's a lot of rice, or arroz, as you call it in Spanish.
Yeah,
arroz. Lots of beans and lots of like meat and salsa, the different sauces, and there's always. My favourite's probably been plantains, fried plantains. So I don't know if have you had plantains before, Matt?
Yeah, I had it in Berlin. Weirdly, we got these plantains from this Jamaican, some kind of Caribbean shop, and it came with this really nice peanut sauce. I don't know if you've had that. Is that a Dominican thing as well or not?
No, they hate peanut sauce out here.
All right, fine.
No, they. I've not had it with peanut sauce. Maybe that was a Jamaican specific thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Text
what
in.
have you been having it with?
Everything, Matt. They even have like a one of the dishes. You'll always just supplement any dish with some avocado, like sliced up over the top, and you get people selling them like on the street on bikes. So sometimes you'll just hear someone going, "Aguacate," which is like just aguacate. So you hear that a lot. But one of the things we had it in, which was weird, is in soup. It was in like this sort of thick soup that had all of lots of different types of meat. It had like beef, pork, sausage, chicken. Yeah, mucho meat. Straight from the doctor. Oh, Carla's putting her hand up doing 7. Some of them are like the same meat but just in different formats. But it's cooked over a really long period of time with lots of spices and avocado sliced up, and you just have that as it's like a thick soup that you put on top of arroz.
Nice.
The sausage in that dish is called longaniza. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's funny. So you saying arroz that reminded me of the time that I tried to learn Spanish using an app. I don't know if you. I will come on to your Spanish in a second, but I spent quite a lot of time on the Duolingo app trying to learn Spanish, and I think it's kind of famous for these mad sentences that it gets you to learn, which have no kind of bearings on real life whatsoever. And the one sentence that I can remember, which is rice-based, was El caballo bajo la arroz, which is the horse is under the rice.
Right.
Which
Are you shouting this in a really panicked way? I bet. Like, get him out quick.
I've yet to be able to use it in a sentence live, but one day I'm hoping there'll be some kind of rice accident on a horse racing track.
Matt, this is live. This is live.
But there's no horses or rice. I mean, I can say it. That's not the issue.
Yeah. You want to say it in context.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on a slight side note, I also tried to learn Swedish using the same app, and one of the sentences I learnt was hunden springer, which means the dog is running. And I remember once when I was living in Sweden, it was like almost coming to the end of my time there, and I finally saw a dog running, and I shouted to everyone I was with, "Hunden Springer!" And they're just like, "What? Yeah, it's a dog. What are you talking about?"
Well, on that note, Matt, I may disappear for a second because I've got my notes for the show on my phone, but I'm recording.
Okay, cool.
I'm recording there, so there you go.
Yes, nice.
On that note, I thought I'd bring this in.
Please.
So, some of the hot topics this week. We're going to be covering, obviously, my current location, since Matt's booked an appointment with Dr. DR, aka myself, for the week. We're going to have a week-long show, marathon. We're going to be talking about, we've got a couple of jokes about cactuses. We've got some stuff to do with barbecuing. We've got fresh Hugo Fresco with fresh juice. We've got language barrier can equal baby style talking, which makes me think of your dog running. So I think we'll go straight into that after the intro here. We've got a very brief chicken chat, habla de pollo.
Great.
Very brief. We're going to talk a bit about pescado, which is fish. And yeah, what about you, Matt? What have you got for us?
Well, I've got a few questions, which kind of hopefully going to dive into your time in DR, kind of trying to get into the nitty gritty of your experience there. If you haven't done any of the things that I've got on my list, then it's going to be very quick, that set of questions. But don't worry, I've also got a quiz on. I thought you're away, it's hot, so why not do a quiz about the Winter Olympics?
Yep, sounds good to me.
And a couple of other things, depending on if we're running out of stuff. But we'll see how we get. We'll see how we get on.
Awesome, Matt. How does it feel to be back on the show, back doing the show? We've been neither here nor there. We've sort of Matt, by the way, listeners, is a competition winner and a money winner. Matt, you want to tell the listeners what you recently won?
Yeah. Listeners who follow me on Instagram might have seen that me and friend of the show, Richard Morrison, recently won a kind of art competition to build a kind of artwork in Norfolk. Yet to be announced, actually, so that, depending on when you're listening to this could be breaking news. We won. But yeah, and as Marc says, most importantly, got a lot of cash for that. Yet to receive that into my bank account, but it's coming.
Yeah, all of which will be going directly into the show.
Yeah, and that's why we do. That's why we all are interested in art. It's for the cash.
Yeah, exactly.
There is actually, like, one of the bits we've got to talk about later is like slightly related to that, so we can come back to that in a bit.
Oh, and dinero is cash in Spanish, so mucho dinero, lots of cash.
Mucho dinero.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk to me about your baby talk.
Yeah, language barrier baby talk. So, mi español es más bueno ahora mismo porque habla con mucho familia y talking with family, struggling through it, and learning a few bits and pieces. But it made me think about when you're learning a language and you're in a place, you have to be willing to sound like a baby. Because if you're not willing to do that, then you're not going to be doing much speaking because you're worried about making mistakes and stuff. Similar to Matt saying the dog is running.
To give a bit of context, are Carla's parents that you're staying with, is their English good, or is it pretty Spanish heavy?
On Carla's dad's side, Spanish heavy. Mum's side, pretty good English. Much better than my Spanish. So much better than my Spanish. So and then like met some family, and then we've had to sort of. But yeah, so I was thinking language barrier equals baby talk. So one example of that is driving along in the car, and then me seeing a cow, a Dominican cow, and just saying vaca, which is cow in Spanish.
Yeah.
So not even, it's a step down from what Matt said. He gave it a bit of personality to the dog.
Yeah.
The dog is
Not
running.
the cows in the field.
No, just vaca, cow.
Love it.
Another good one, if you're in the Dominican Republic at some point and you like your rum, or you want to look like you know about your rum, you can point out a field which has sugarcane in it, and you can just shout caña, and that means sugarcane in Spanish, which we bought some sugarcane off this guy, and it literally just looks like a stick. It's pretty much just a stick which you chew on, and it's got like this really sweet sort of like delicious nectar in it that you just sort of like chew on. You bite off a bit of this stick, sort of chew on it, and then just need like a little cup and just spit the solid everything back into there once you've got all the flavour out of it. But that was quite interesting, just sort of like, you know, with wind blowing in my hair and just sort of chewing this sweet nectar.
Wow, you're really painting a picture there. It's quite sexy, actually.
Well, no, it is. It is.
That actually sounds great. Becca is someone who is an absolute sugar fiend. That sounds.
But she'd really like it because it just looks like a stick, and like when you're in the UK, you would not do that unless you were a dog. And the fact that you can just sort of like, you know, someone could literally, if Becca had one when she was here or something, and you threw it, she could run after it, pick it up, and eat it. You know. So anyone listening, go on.
No, I was going to say, does a Dominican Republic dog chase the sugarcane? Would it play fetch with a lump of sugarcane?
Yes.
Or would it just be too? Would it just too delicious and just eat the stick?
It wouldn't last long. It wouldn't last long, and the dog would be bouncing off the walls. If you're outside, probably not off the walls, but off the trees and off anything around. But it made me think it'd be the sort of thing you could take to East London, all these like sticks, and people could buy them, and you can just sell them for extortionate prices. And people just walking around chewing these sticks, which would be quite good. I should have actually got some and bought some back. You still there, Matt?
What were we saying? Dog. Yeah. Okay. See that brings me on nicely to one of my questions.
Yeah.
And it's a classic calculated drivel question. Have you seen any dogs in DR?
I've seen a lot.
And follow-up question: how did you know they were dogs?
They were stray, and they were stray dogs. Didn't act as much like dogs over in the UK out here, because I guess we're on a more sort of somber note. They don't have a home. You know.
They kind of like wild.
Yeah, exactly. So we saw one. We went and had some fried fish or pescado frito, and there was a little pup there that we saw that was very sweet. Sort of wandering around by the riverbank, and you just sort of see them walking around here, which is interesting because I've never really come across that before. I mean, you don't see that in the UK at all. But yeah, no, they were definitely perros, which is dog in Spanish.
You say definitely, but what you're describing to me doesn't sound like a dog at all.
I threw some sugarcane for them and they brought it back.
Okay.
And one of them
definitely
sat.
Wasn't. Okay, here we go. Okay, so okay.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere.
Okay, so it played fetch and it sat there. Yeah, that's the two criteria.
Yeah, we got two tick boxes there for you.
Yeah, you got yourself a dog.
So yeah. I was also going to mention, so on the topic of that, the baby talk. Actually, no, I covered that. Yeah, so vaca and sugarcane, cow and sugarcane or caña. What do you want to do next, Matt? We can dive into.
Do you want a DR question? I think it'll be quite quick. I'm hoping this won't be quick at all, and it'll lead to a really long, exciting anecdote. I've got a feeling that it won't.
Right.
But for our loyal listeners who listen to the Dominican special many
Oh, the
months ago,
Dominican Dynasty special.
the Dominican Dynasty, yeah. You might remember a lot of exciting conversations relating to Chicken Chat or Hablo Pollo. Mark, please tell me you've been to a cockfight.
Oh, I've been to one. I've been to many. Why do you think I've got this shirt and this hat? I won these at a cockfight.
Well, you were competing.
Yeah, that was that's why I've got all these scratches and things. Yeah, it sort of dressed me up as a chicken, a full blown one.
Absolutely battered with a chicken.
Yeah, I just beat the crap out of this chicken, and the guy said, "You're never coming here again. You're barred."
Leave it out. Yeah.
But you did win, so here's this hat. Or sombrero. Sorry, sombrero. So yeah, no, I've not been to any cockfights. I have seen. They've been going on, I'm sure, behind closed doors.
Have you had any kind of inkling that they've been happening around you? You know, have you seen any battle cocks?
I've not seen any.
That's such a shame.
I have had an inkling that there might have been going on at some point when I was in the capital, in Santo Domingo, but no sort of hard cold evidence that there's been. The underground scene is still thriving. I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's half of my questions gone then.
Is it? You pretty much had the same questions lined up.
Yeah. It was. Have you been to a cockfight? Have you seen any battle cocks? And there's only 4 questions, so that's half of them.
Well, that's a segue into chicken chat. Do you want me to do a quick chicken chat?
Yeah. Take it on. Hablo Pollo.
Cue the music that Matt made.
Chicken chat.
Chicken chat.
Chicken chat.
Chicken chat. Chicken chat.
Chicken chat.
Chicken cut.
Chicken chat.
There we go. So, I've got a few questions for Matt. I was thinking of the classic chicken joke that everyone around the world knows. I know you may not be able to see me, Matt, because I'm looking at my notes. What is that joke?
Yeah.
I'll let you say it to the listener.
Do you want me to lead that?
Do you mind?
Yeah, no, not at all.
No, go for it.
Knock.
Who's there?
Chicken.
Chicken who? It was meant to involve a road, Matt.
Yeah. To get to the other side. Is that it?
He doesn't knock on the door though. He just what is it, Matt? Say it.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Right. So that question made me think of a new question. Something a little bit different. Something a bit 2020-22. There's a lot of 20s in there. 2020-22. I actually wrote down here in my notes, why did the chicken purchase the road?
Okay,
so I don't know.
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, I'll let you have a guess. I've got an answer for it here, which isn't necessarily the right answer, but it is an answer.
And is this related to the Dominican Republic at all?
It's related to it in that I thought of this when I was here.
Okay. Why did the chicken purchase the road? He saw it as a solid investment and predicted steady growth over the next few quartiles. Okay,
interesting. So
didn't get the laugh I was hoping for.
No, but the quartiles is interesting, and I've actually got the answer why he purchased the road here, Matt. So he purchased the road, or she purchased the road,
or they.
All day, multiple chickens as well as that. Yeah, to pedestrianise the road, Matt. So he doesn't have to worry about crossing it anymore. It's more of a town planning thing.
He's put an end to all future jokes.
He's put an end to those jokes. Sick and tired of it. And you may then ask yourself, how the hell did a chicken have the money to purchase a whole damn road? And
Yeah,
that leads me
okay,
on to
I
my
like it.
second question.
Yeah, yes, okay, I like this. It's
Yeah.
going to turn into a whole novel.
Yeah, so,
Novella.
yeah, because you think to yourself, when you buy a road, which Matt and I have done, it's not easy. It takes a while, because people go, well, where does the road start and end? Do you buy a per square metre of road? Can you buy A roads in the UK? Can you buy motorways?
Yeah, you're referring to our big purchase of the road that we now call Calculated Drive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Calculated Drive. One of mine and Matt's first investments many years ago. Calculated Drive. We were still planning on putting a parking lot there and watching the money roll in, but Matt and I haven't got around to doing that yet.
Nice.
We're still looking for the right contractor to do the lines on the spaces. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. So the chicken purchased the road. He did that by investment over many years prior to that purchase. Now this chicken in particular was a bit of a crypto guy or gal. So I want you to answer this. Which cryptocurrency did this chicken invest in to have the funds to purchase the road? What do you reckon?
Okay. My initial thought is Chitcoin.
Chitcoin, okay.
That kind of works. Ethereum.
Okay, no, that's good. That's good. You want to know the answer, Matt?
Yeah, I'm already.
You've already done two great answers. So, listeners, Matt's first guess at the cryptocurrency this chicken invested in many years ago to be able to purchase the road, to pedestrianise it, was Matt's first guess was, tell the listener, Matt. Chitcoin. His second guess was
Ethereum.
And the real answer is Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin.
That's like I thought I thought my ones were gonna be better, but that is good. That is better.
Did you like
That's
Bitcoin?
Good, yeah.
I thought the fact that I only had to replace the I with an R whilst on these highways out here, like sort of going from place to place, I thought that's actually quite fun, so I put it down for chicken chat.
That is good. Ethereum was a bit of a stretch, if I'm honest with myself.
Yeah, it's like someone using excellent, it will let you off because your Chitcoin was great.
So the chicken's got he's got a road now. It's a solid investment. What's he doing with that now?
Well, he's just looking to pedestrianise it. He's looking to get a licence to pedestrianise it. There's there's quite a backlash against that for obvious reasons. Some people use that road to access their houses, so he's fighting a losing battle at the moment. But that's for another week to dive into that story further. But I thought
we'll do a Patreon only special about that. Yeah.
There'll be patrons waiting to get their money's worth after a lot of promises about Patreon specials.
we should go back and record all of the things we've promised Patreon subscribers.
Yeah. That's my chicken chat for the week.
Nice, that was great. I very much enjoyed that. I like a joke that has many levels and has the potential to turn into a full-blown, potentially boring story.
Yeah.
So that ticked all the boxes.
Perfect. How's your rum, by the way, Matt?
It's since my initial kind of hesitation after sniffing it, I think the smell of rum kind of specifically reminds me of getting really drunk drinking rum and coke, as we've mentioned on previous podcasts. Morgan Spice and Coke with a wedge of lime from Macclesfield Wetherspoons. But now it's had a bit. The ice has mellowed a little bit. It's going down very well actually. So I think good. Yeah.
Good to hear. Cheers. Well, my Presidente's finished.
Salute. Get yourself another Presidente, mate.
I'm out.
Is that it? Come on.
We got any more? No.
What's your
we're-
producer doing?
My dad was trying to tell you that one.
Oh, did he? Alright, is he gone to get some? So, what do you want to move on to next, Matt? What have you got for us?
I've got one more DR related question. While we're on the topic, it also goes back to the Dominican Dynasty special where Carla told us about how there's kind of a thing about kind of older British women getting chatted up by young, sexy Dominican men in the Dominican Republic in exchange for, I can't remember, was it like some kind of financial con potentially? Like trying to get them to fall in love with them and like...
You might be thinking of... Boca Chica.
I just remember Carla being like giving a warning to the listeners, being like, "Wait, when you come to DR, you think you've met the love of your life.
Sankey Panky.
Be careful." Yeah. What is it?
Carla, what's it called when you get like a Georgie situation, like Georgie and her mum? Sankey Panky. So that's when you get sort of a Caucasian white mother and a daughter. They come out here. And then they realise, I've never danced properly in my life, but now I'm here, I'm learning about merengue, I'm learning about bachata, and I'm learning a bit of salsa at the same time. So I think there's the whole sort of, people don't, in the UK, learn how to dance from such a young age, so I guess...
That has nothing to do with it.
Oh, Carla, why don't you step in and...
Yeah, that's that. What you're describing sounds great, but I remember it being quite like a
What's happening?
negative thing.
Put a headphone in, Carla.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a guest.
I'm just hearing everything on the background of my country and trying to correct him in every single thing.
Oh no. Oh, Mark's hung up the call, for God's sake. Hello?
I know.
Hello,
I
can
was
you
saying
hear us?
that I'm just hearing everything in the background and trying
Mark's-
to direct Mark's wording of stuff.
Yeah, I can see Carla in the corner there.
Carla's doing hand gestures from behind the camera.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
so we were saying the Dominican Dynasty episode in which you were the special guest. We talked about these people who would chat up English women.
Yeah,
Can
not
you-
only women. It could be a man and like the Dominican ladies, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
And trying to, in a sort of way, I could be a Sankey Panky. The only thing I
But
went to, Marc could be a Sankey Panky because I went to UK and he's the one that's-
Yeah,
the
So-
reverse
and you
Sankey
could
Panky.
be an associate with the Sankey Panky UK.
Yeah, so he's
You're an
an
associate.
English Sankey Panky. Now I am the Sankey Panky because we're in Dominican
Yeah.
Republic.
But so what? I remember when you described it to us, it was kind of a negative thing. What is like?
Yeah, because obviously there's a lot of like, like everything in life. In the moment they get here, it just looks really nice, a romantic thing and stuff, but it all becomes about money in the end. So one way or the other one.
Oh, is that you?
Sorry, I have to move.
Oh,
There you have it, Matt. It's about money. Next question.
it's all about. This is what I thought. So no, that leads me on to the question that I had for you, Mark.
Go for
Have you been chatted up by any sexy DR men
it.
or women?
Just left.
Pardon?
Oh, for how long? Because they just got me.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna do 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do 20 minutes more, and then we'll be bang on an hour. I've not been chatted up by anyone. I've said my bits of Spanish here and there, so yo quiero un cerveza, or I've said, I quite often I'm a directions guy. I like showing my Spanish that I know my right and my left and my straight on. That's like quite a good go-to in the car. So I'll say.
And I imagine the women love that.
Yeah, so I'll say derecho, which is straight on, derecho,
Directing.
derecho, or if you say recha, which is very similar, which is right. derecha
Right.
is right, and derecho is straight on, and izquierda is left.
Nice.
So I've been
Wow.
really getting after the directions. So when we're in the car,
Yeah,
I'll be
you're
sort of
really-
saying, I'll say like derecho, like with a question to it, and they go, see, you know, like, okay, you know.
Wow.
So that's what I'm
getting
talking.
a bit hot here.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you come here often, Mark? Give directions? Because you should. So yeah, that's some of the stuff. You know.
Love it. Great. But without wanting to move on too quickly from DR, are there any more like DR anecdotes you want to get in here before I move on to the Winter Olympics?
Oh, anecdotes wise, let's have a look. Actually, they're on this phone. So what I do have is look at my notes. So which of these fresh juices do you like the sound of the most?
Yep.
Juice number 1, Jugo de Guanabana.
Jugo de Guanabana.
Yeah, so Jugo de Guanabana.
Yeah, sounds like
Jugo, yeah, Jugo de Guanabana y banana. That Jugo actually has the first one in it, but with banana added to it.
It sounds like if our wine expert Hugh had made some kind of banana-based cocktail.
Yeah, it could be. We'll have to get him on the show. Speaking of which, we have a recorded session with our wine expert, which I'm still waiting on Matt to chuck on the Instagram, because I'm doing all of the, doing a lot of legwork alone on that Instagram page at the moment, including telling lies about little plastic cars and how there's a story about it coming when there isn't. And then Jugo de Chinola or Jugo de Zapote. So which of those juices do you like the sound of the most?
Say the last two again, sorry.
Jugo de Chinola and
Jugo de Chinola.
de Zapote. So we got Jugo de Guanabana,
Yeah.
Jugo de Guanabana y banana.
Yeah.
That's my own
Yeah.
personal one.
Yeah.
Jugo de Chinola and Jugo de Zapote. Which one do you
Definitely
like the
the
sound of?
Definitely the last one. The Z makes it seem like it's quite like a zingy experience.
Zingy. So
No
Carla,
idea
what
what
is
it is.
Jugo de Zapote?
Now I have to go back in.
Yeah, you're coming back in. We're bringing it back in. This is why I
Producer.
stepping back in, headphone in.
So I'm the specialist here.
Yeah, in house.
Yeah.
Dressed to impress, by
yeah.
the way, for the show. You know, look at that.
Yeah, no holds barred.
The zapote, it's almost like it's weird. You have to have it. It's quite it's quite like a salmon color. Like when you mix in everything, when you open it, it's quite rich the color. But it's delicious because it's heavy. It's almost like what is it? La chosa.
La Chosa is
the brown one.
Chinola?
No,
papaya?
no, papaya. It's like a papaya, but
yeah.
it's heavier. It's when you mix
A
it.
lot heavier.
It's heavier on the weight of the mix. You have to pour a lot of water to make it more liquid.
Wow.
And then guayaba, guanabana is a spiked. It has spikes outside.
Yeah.
So it's
Tough to get into,
Yeah.
Matt. Tough to get into.
Yeah, so but it's delicious because when you cut it, it comes more watery than the zapote. Zapote is heavier, the guanabana is less heavy. And the funny thing is, like with guanabana, we say like it felt like a guanabana. So se cayó como una guanabana. Because the guanabana, when it falls from the tree, it explodes on the floor.
Oh, fuck, okay.
So you gotta be ready for
Yeah,
it.
so
Is it good?
Is it what?
Is it good?
Is
Oh,
it,
is
does
it really?
taste-
I don't know. Do you like the Marc?
Oh, to Guanabana? Oh, muy bueno. Muy bueno.
So
Very
he
nice.
really liked it. So he
Yeah.
enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
But Matt's gone.
What was your favourite of the list? And was
Chinola.
that the correct answer?
Chinolo was my favourite because
Yeah.
it was just fresh passion fruit juice. So
Okay,
imagine
yeah, that
just
does sound
like,
better.
you know.
Yeah, and we put in everything. Like we do Mori Soñando, if you remember.
Oh, the one with the
Yeah,
milk. I had the
yeah.
milk mix with
Yeah.
That's
the
a
passion
deep
fruit
cut
juice.
for the listener.
Yeah. So he.
Oh,
he had
we'll
his-
make one when you come to Brighton next. We'll make them live on the show. We'll do an orange juice. And you got to get the ratio right. When you do,
I know the ratio now. It is. If you do a glass of passion fruit, it's half of milk. So, you know what I'm saying? It's half of what you pour in of milk, of
Yeah,
juice.
yeah.
You have to put in milk.
75-25.
So it's, if you in the end gonna have a cup and a half.
Yeah.
So it's a cup of juice and a half of milk.
Ah, okay.
So you're gonna have a cup and a half of mix.
Yeah.
So
Got
that's
it.
how you do it. But Mike tasted it and it doesn't taste anything.
No, it wasn't curdle o'clock.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Oh wow, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Have you had any mango?
Oh, I've had a lot of mango.
Every morning.
Mango
Every morning,
for
wow.
breakfast, man. It's
No.
mashed. It's just basically mashed plantains, and they always have like mashed plantains. You have some scrambled egg with that, or one of your favourites, Matt, will be queso frito because you like your halloumi, I hear.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say some kind of Dominican Scotch egg.
Maybe there's a gap. There could be a gap in
Maybe,
the market for that.
Okay, Mark
Bring
has
them,
ideas.
bring them over here, man, and set up a stall and see how you get on.
Mark has ideas of bringing Dominican food to
UK.
To UK.
Well, I said to Matt, I want
Yeah,
to take
yeah.
Kenya sugarcane over in London, East
Is
London.
it
Put us
people just
walking
eating
around,
after
shooting
lunch
a stick,
break?
yeah, lunch break. Could we still
Definite
get
gap
one
in the
of
market.
Is there any sugarcane I could put a stick in the suitcase?
No, you can't bring
You
anything.
can bring
Oh,
a
come on.
stick in a suitcase.
Down your trousers. One in each leg.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, that was quite a treat. Yeah, I think that's.
That's all for me.
Yeah, we may have to call you back in the
Okay.
last. We've got 10 minutes to go. We'll see what we can squeeze out of the rest
Alright.
of this episode. Matt, it's
What?
over to you.
What's the time limit?
About an hour because Carla's uncle has arrived and his family.
Oh, right.
My brother.
Oh, your brother. Sorry.
Your uncle? Okay, so do you want to do a Winter Olympics quiz? It seems quite far removed from what we talked about, but I mean it's quite relevant at the moment. For me at least.
How long's the quiz?
There's 4 questions. I'm gonna say 5 mins.
4 questions, 5 mins. Let me just quickly consult my notes to see if I've got anything else.
If not, we can save it
Dominican-wise.
for the next step. No worries.
Because we could save it to do a quick drop-in session at some point very soon. Because I do want to start recording more often. Is that alright, Matt? Could we do that?
Yeah. I was gonna say actually, I think because I'm so used to doing these remotely on video call now, it almost feels more natural doing it like this than it did when we actually met in person.
Yeah. It didn't help that I was very, I was a bit
Which isn't
fragile.
good. Yeah. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do more in-person ones, but I feel quite relaxed. Maybe it's because I've had quite a lot of rum. But
Yeah. Have you been drinking most of the evening?
I had a beer when I finished work, and then so like last weekend, Hugh came round and we did some wine tasting, and we had 6 wines.
6 bottles.
6 bottles. We didn't drink all the bottles, but it means that we got 6 bottles in our house. So I thought, I'll just like have a go on some of the ones that we got left over because they're gonna go bad soon. So I tried like 2.
That's what you
different
tell
wines.
yourself, Matt. I better finish all this alcohol
Yeah,
before
yeah,
it goes
exactly.
off.
So then I just, like had a couple of like small tastes of different wines just to refresh my brain, and then now I've had about I don't know 4 shots of rum. So
4 shots of rum.
all good.
Well, you're celebrating, Matt. So you know
Yeah.
you deserve it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
deserve it. So yeah, what I was gonna say, I've got this. I've got a few other notes. This one's this one's quite a quick one. The reason why I'm mentioning it because it was kind of like on the way to going to Gatwick, so it's still part of this viaje or this trip. I don't know if this is going to work, but let's just try it out. It's not really a joke; it's just an idea, really. So I saw a smashed glass jar of Lloyd Grossman tomato and basil sauce. Do you know the ones?
Yeah,
They do a tomato and
I like
basil.
where
They
this is going.
do. You know where it's going. They do. I think they do like an olive one as well. They do like one.
He
with
does
a
a
bit
lot.
of spice.
He's got a lot of ones.
Yeah, so it was one of the classics, tomato and basil by the looks of it. I didn't get too close a look because it was smashed in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And I've just written here, angry dad shouts at son What did I tell you about Lloyd Grossman? Smash out the window.
Okay, well, that's your kind of provocation for how that jar arrived in the place that you saw it.
Yeah. I mean, do you think if you had to sort of like backtrack what the backstory to that could have been?
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, it's a guy. It's a kid. His dad's Italian, but his mum's British, and now they live in the UK. Maybe they live
In Brighton. This is where I saw it.
In Brighton. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Dad's Italian.
dad's Italian, and maybe he's lived in the UK for the last 10 years since he met his wife, who's British.
Yeah.
And he's like kind of desperately trying to cling on to his Italian roots.
Yeah.
But obviously his kid's growing up in the UK. He's like really into all this UK stuff.
Yeah. English accent.
English accents, like English food, just like quick, fast, like in the opinion of the father, just like bad food.
Yeah.
And the dad's kind of
English
left it up.
attitude. Could you?
Yeah,
could you
English
even
attitude
say?
towards
Yeah.
food as well. Yeah, and the dad kind of left it up to the son, who he's still a teenager. He's only 14.
Yeah.
The dad's kind of left it to the son to buy ingredients for dinner, and they're gonna have just like a traditional Italian dinner. And the son, because he doesn't really care about food, he's
Shortcuts.
yeah, he doesn't want to go to all the extents of getting all the ingredients. Even though his dad's been through it with him many times of how to create like the perfect ragu sauce.
Yeah.
From
fresh
fresh ingredients.
tomatoes.
Yeah. But for some reason, his son's kind of developed this weird obsession with Lloyd Grossman. I think as a kind of act of rebellion at the kind of convenience.
Yeah.
And the
First he
fast-
started smoking. It's when he started buying these.
yeah. And
His
you know
dad
that-
didn't care about that. There was something quite
That-
Italian about that. He
that
said.
whole thing of the like stereotype of your dad finds a pack of cigarettes in your bag and makes you smoke the whole packet so you don't want to smoke again. It's happened to this kid before, where he's found like a jar of Lloyd Grossman sauce and he's made him eat the whole jar raw.
Yeah.
No
No cheese, no pasta.
Yeah, just cold sauce.
Yeah.
But despite that, the kid still, he comes back from the shop. Actually, so like his dad, I think he's met his dad in town. That's why he's not at home. And his dad's like, oh yeah, did you get the ingredients for the dinner? And he's like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, obviously the kid's not engaged at all. He doesn't care. And so the dad grabs the shopping bag, looks in it. There's just some dry pasta and a jar of Lloyd Grossman sauce.
Yeah.
And the dad's just absolutely, like, that is literally everything that he's been trying basically since he's been a child.
Yeah.
Instill this kind of Italian heritage.
Yeah. He's flown him out there once a year minimum, like even when he's been struggling financially.
Tried to teach him Italian, doesn't care. And this is just like the tipping point. He's got dry spaghetti and
Lloyd Grossman
sauce, and he just picked it out of the bag and just smashes it on the road. And says, he's the kind of guy who, like, when he's really angry, kind of breaks into fluent Italian. So I don't actually know what he said. He's just like swearing in Italian, like blah 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 blah, Lloyd Grossman, blah blah blah, and smashes it on the ground.
I can actually send you the picture of this as well. So I took a photo of it and then thought of what did I say about Lloyd Grossman? But yeah, I know that is extremely irrelevant to Dominican Republic, but maybe not.
That's just what I'm guessing. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah,
but.
you know, any listeners listening in, let us know what your thoughts are on that and what you
was
think
his
the backstory is.
catchphrase? He had a catchphrase, didn't he? It was like, was it?
Oh, it was something along the lines of
or something. Was it that?
a bit of a bit of basil and you won't go wrong. I think it was that.
That's not it. Wait, I'm gonna Google it now. Sorry, I feel like what did you say? Carla's brothers just arrived.
Yeah, so I've got 3 minutes.
Have you met him before?
Very briefly. Very briefly.
All right. Well, here you go. Oh yeah, here we go. Lloyd Grossman source ad. You can listen to this together.
Go on. Hold it near your microphone.
Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Tomato and basil sauce has a squeeze of Sicilian lemon juice added to bring out the sweetness of the tomatoes.
Coriander seeds are ground with whole red chilies to intensify the taste of the Thai red curry sauce.
The tomato. Lloyd Grossman. Sauces with a distinctive voice.
That was shit. I think that was just people doing impressions of Lloyd Grossman. Good stuff. Alright, well, if I find anything, we'll put it on Instagram.
We'll put it on, definitely.
Good. Good stuff.
Yeah. And I've got let me just see one last thing in my notes with our 2 minutes to go.
By the way,
yeah,
I
on.
got tomorrow free. I can edit this tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't even edit it much, just sound effect.
Yeah. Send it over. I'll link it.
I'll WeTransfer it to you straight after this. So yeah, my last thing I was going to mention is on the topic of travel. When I was at Gatwick, I just wrote down the question: how would you protect a Victoria sponge, wedding size in brackets, if you had to transport it in the hold luggage on a long haul flight? How would you protect a Victoria sponge brackets wedding size if you had to transport it in the hold luggage on a long haul flight? That's my last question to you, Matt, before we end the show.
Thanks for the question. I would say I don't know. I mean, my mind goes straight to those kind of over the top kind of musicians gig boxes. You know, like it's like black with kind of like steel reinforcements around the outside with like a lot of foam padding.
Yeah.
Probably go for that. It's gonna get quite dirty, but am I allowed to kind of cling film the cake?
Yeah, you can cling film it. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I'm cling filming the cake wrapped in foam, then that in like a hard aluminium reinforced thing.
Case. Okay. No,
Don't
that
forget
works.
the fragile stickers.
Yeah. And knowing
yeah.
someone on the baggage might help as well. Knowing a guy either side in DR. And,
Slip him a fiver.
Yeah.
No, slip him a slice of cake.
Yeah. Well, also on the topic of cake, Dominican cake is the best cake, Matt. So I'll get the recipe and we'll make you cake. You can try a cake called tres leche, which is 3 milk cake, and it's the best cake I've ever had. Cake over here.
All right, great.
So
sounds good. Last question. So obviously today's episode is very much the Dr. DR special.
Live.
I think the next episode will be the Winter Olympics / Valentine's Day special.
Winter Olympics / Valentine's Day.
Do you have any Valentine's Day plans? Are you in DR for Valentine's Day? What does a DR Valentine's Day look like?
I'll be back in Gatwick on Saturday, but I think we've got a hell of a lot we can play with there. Bring back
tomorrow.
Maybe some
You're flying
of
back tomorrow.
Flying back tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So this is the last night here.
Right, what a send off.
Yeah, and I had plenty of information to bring to the show, including Lloyd Grossman. So thank you, Matt. Oh, final joke. Actually, final joke. This is a Dominican dad joke.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 balloons in the desert, because we did go to some sand dunes and area, which I'll show photos of at some point on my personal Instagram. But 2 balloons in the desert. One balloon says to the other, "Watch out for the cactus."
Yeah, let's end it there, I reckon.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt.